Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Community Events Team first tournament for APB, Run the Streets, presented by everyone who's actually helped kind of put this together from the Community Events Team. We've got two very interesting matches coming up for you today. We're going to be kicking off very shortly in the next 5 minutes to get started with the first match. I'm your host, Kempington, and I'm with my co-commentator Shini, and we'll be going through we'll give our initial thoughts on the first match. We'll go through the poll that you, ladies and gentlemen, voted on before we got to today, and we'll kind of see what you, ladies and gentlemen, think as to who you think will win for match 1 and match 2. But without further ado, and not to waste any more time, let's get on to our combatants for the first match. So in match 1, we've got an interesting one. It's God Complex versus Abstract. Abstract do have a sub, but they're only on standby just in case something happens to the connection of one of the players from Abstract. We've got Lau, Chio, Gatoron as the sub, and Sumori as the team captain for Abstract. Moving over to God Complex, we've got Huzinus, SQPY, and Yuriku being their team captain. Again, it's first to 4 wins. Out of 6 matches, 3 attacks, 3 defends. If there is no clear winner after the 6 matches, we'll go on to an overtime where 2 more matches will be played, and one team has to win 2 matches in a row to go through to the next round. Up next, we've got another match later on. The match later on, about 2 hours from now, we've got 125Hz versus Nekos in Pantsus. With End as the sub, Amberwin, Paper Duck, and Gromsy as the team captain for 125Hz. We've then got Scanter, Infi, and Potsu as the team captain for NIP, starting 2 hours from now. So that's 6 PM UTC, or 7 PM our time. Should be an interesting match. We'll get on to more of that in more detail a little bit later on after our first match. But for now, we're going to start making our way in just a moment to make sure the teams are ready to go. Your match referee for this evening will be Natsu, who will be overseeing and making sure everything is done to expectations. But I just want to bring it back for 1 second, and we'll just have a brief discussion before we get started here. I think the teams are almost ready. So just very quickly, if we have a look at the polls here for the first match, it's quite a commanding lead for who you, ladies and gentlemen, think is going to win the first match. We've got God Complex at 30 votes as opposed to Abstract at 17. But I just want to pass it over to you, Shini. Who do you think is going to win this one?
God Complex. It's just a commanding lead of 2/3 of the population. Well, of the people that decided to take part in the poll, it's 2/3 voting God Complex, and you have a star player, it's Darlena. I'm not too sure on the other 2 players if I'm perfectly honest, but we have to take into account that these are big names. That's a big name on their team, and yeah, what do you have to say about it?
I mean, to me, it's going to be. I think it's going to be close. Like, I don't know Abstract's team too well. I know the players, the names are familiar, but I'm more clued up on how good Yuriku can be, or Darlinko can be. I know SQPY can pull off some crazy nonsense every now and then, and he can do some pretty crazy stuff. Huzinus I've never heard of before, but my money's on, well, where the people think. I think honestly it's going to be a God Complex win. It might even be a 4-0. We're not sure, but I don't know. It'll depend on the missions they get. It'll depend on kind of how they kind of structure themselves. There was a bit of team chat earlier on, and I heard that the teamwork from God Complex is a little bit weak, and that was admitted by them. So that might come into play here if there are any set pieces that Abstract have to use on attack or defense to kind of throw them off. But it looks like we're just getting on to the coin toss here to determine who is going to be the first to attack or defend. So I'm going to pass you over to the feed of Darlinko, and we'll see as this first match kicks off. So here we go.
I'm honestly kind of thinking, though, God Complex do have a commanding lead over this prediction. If the only thing that Abstract will have to keep in mind is that whether they can slow that momentum, whether they can really slow down the aggressiveness of Darlina, and if they can take him out and target him, I think that would make things a lot harder. But it's very much stacked against Abstract, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. I think Abstract's best bet is to take out the captain first before any attack or defense, because that might just destabilize the other two enough that they can capitalize on it. They need to basically put the numbers in their advantage at any fight that they get into. If they have a straight up 1v1, it's definitely going in God Complex's favor. So conversely, God Complex's best bet here is to force 1v1s as much as possible.
Let's be honest though, God Complex do have one Achilles heel, and that is one key loadout has been nerfed in this patch, hasn't it? That's
I don't think he would take that, honestly. I think there's enough on the line here, and they're taking it seriously enough that I don't think he would take that as a serious loadout more than anything else. I know he's exceptionally good with it, and the strat is there, but I don't think he would ever take that seriously, knowing, you know, that everyone else is.
It can be a serious loadout if you're playing mind games here. If you bring out,
absolutely.
you know, if you want to tilt the enemy team, but that's obviously off the table now. You can't really do that anymore. So it might just have to be a straight up whitewash. But let's see how they're playing along now. They've actually flipped the coin. Yeah, what's going on?
So Abstract has tails, God Complex has heads. We're just waiting for the coin toss now to find out who's going first. The winner will attack, and the referee is just making the coin toss now. Well, he would. Anytime today. I bet you anything both of these players don't have... Oh no, here we go. We do have system messages on. And it's heads, so I believe that's God Complex on the attack.
Well, that's a good sign. It's a good thing for Abstract, at least. If they can get a defend on the first round and get that win, they'll get that huge morale boost. But if they lose a defend on the first match, it's gonna be. I think this might be the match winner right here. If God Complex win this round, this might be the end.
Yeah.
But you know, it's best of 6. It's quite a stamina match. I'm quite surprised that it's best of 6.
Well, it's going to be interesting because this could go both ways. It could either be that Abstract are just going to play it out a bit to just see what God Complex are going to do on the attack and just kind of see how they approach things. And they could use that. Honestly, both teams could use the first round as kind of a feeling stage just to see how each team reacts to different things and then play accordingly after that. They do have the rounds to make that happen. If it was a best of 3, they wouldn't have that option, but they've got a little bit of play here to kind of feel out the terrain a bit and see how both teams will respond to different kinds of approaches. And we'll hopefully see that happen in the first match. I don't know, it'll depend how they want to approach this. If they want to go all out in the first round and start gaining momentum as soon as possible, or if they want to start making slow, you know, just kind of observe how things go on and, you know, not worry too much if they take a loss here.
Apparently I'm being told that they need to increase my volume. Should I do that, or would you do that on your own?
I've maxed you to 200. So let me bring. No, sorry. Let me just reduce the sound on the stream a little bit.
All right, let's have a look at the vehicle loadout here. It's your standard double Vegas Espacio special. What's going on the other team?
Looks like they've got 2 Espacio, well no, 2 Pioneer, no, Pioneer Espacio and a 4x4 Vegas by the looks of it. Now that's kind of interesting because bearing in mind the changes that they made to vehicles recently, I'm wondering if that's going to come into play at all. The other thing we have to appreciate here is who is going to be using high burn fuel, who's going to be using car spawner, who's going to be using ammo box in the car possibly. Okay, we've got the first mission selected. It's Deliver the Liver. And it looks like the attacking team are off and ready to go. And here we go. Round 1 of the first match of Run the Streets.
Oh no, this is a terrible first objective for God Complex.
Looks like we've got... I was just trying to see the weapon loadouts there.
And of course, we have no HVRs allowed in this match. No hard, heavy HVRs. Is that correct?
That is correct, and we've got no explosive weapons either. So it'll be interesting to see what weapon loadouts they take for this. If they switch, if they stick to their guns.
We got briefers here, by the way.
We'll have to wait and see.
Pelting the enemy with a bit of shots with the carbine there. Just got burst.
Ooh, that was a brilliant nade by... I can't tell. Who was it? Oh, he got team killed! Well, I would have said it was a good nade, but looks like SQPY was a little bit too giddy on that nade and took Yuriko out at the same time. Just going to move it over to the other feed. We'll just see how Samori's doing here.
Yuriko's coming up the scaffolding up on the highway, but looks like there's enemies at distance in the Pioneer. They're still staying in their car, of course. They're just feeling out the situation. They don't need to get out until the enemy starts attacking the objective.
Just from Samori's feed here. He's just got out. It looks like he's going to try and start taking out the enemy vehicles here as much as possible to reduce their options. But Yuriko's got a decent angle on him.
God Complex trying to get East Highway support. Looks like they've got it as well.
Yeah, they've got a car spawner up there as well. They've got a position close with another car spawner. Oh no, that's... Sorry, no, that's Abstract.
Still under conflict.
Yeah. So, Abstract's going for a 2-car spawner setup here.
What a nade.
Ooh, I missed that unfortunately. I'm looking at Samori's.
Yuriko lobbed a nade up on the East Highway and it taken out Capoccia.
Bro, I'm getting
oh, very good.
Looks like they've done the first stage and the horrible objective, but now it's now moved underneath the highway into an ambulance. Another vehicle stage.
Looks like they're trying to get onto it early here, get some momentum on the attacking side, just so they don't have to get held up by defensive positions here. It'll be interesting to see how these teams approach this, whether or not they go for kind of bum rush tactics to get on the points as soon as possible, or if they take a more methodical approach and try to eliminate.
Yuriko's trying to secure the higher ground, but of course, while securing the higher ground is a great objective in this stage, they can't actually see the objective from above.
It depends what the loadout on the on Abstract have. If they've got anything like an OBIR or any ranged weaponry that they can post up by the kind of scaffolding over there to the northeast, then they could really make something happen here.
Honestly, looking, if God Complex keep this momentum up, I think they will get this stage, but Sumori lobbing a fantastic nade, taking out multiple vehicles.
There's a very good...
on the vehicle, on the objective, Bravo.
And it looks like he's taken the Eastern Highway as a defensive position here, while
he's
also...
getting fired at, though, and he's forcing to reposition, but he is still alive and in the mission.
Yuriko getting a very good car spawn there, taking out one player, but the other one managed to finish him off before he could capitalise. Looks like they're going to try a pincer.
Kind of having trouble here.
It's a bit of a tricky spot, but it looks like Abstract are going to try setting up a pincer here, get one on one side, one on the other, and just kind of funnel them into the objective. So it's going to be difficult for God Complex to get some angles here, take out the stranglers, well, the stragglers, sorry, and push him off. But it looks like SQPY's got the pick here. Samori's still on the overpass, waiting. We've got one down below, but Huzinus has picked up the kill there. Yuriko's near the objective, but he's looking for Samori on the highway. Oh, it's a good shot by Huzinus, and this looks like that is the stage. Unless there's any really weird car spawners coming up now.
Honestly,
no, they've got it.
The aggression, the violence, the speed of taking this objective just right there. Surgical, all three dead, and they're moving on to the next objective, which is just the drop-off. And it's an instant drop-off, mind you, but they need to get back in, get back out, and take that item. That's a critical point.
Absolutely. So this is where things can really turn for the worse for God Complex here. If they get a clean run and Abstract don't have an answer and can't set up quickly enough, they can grab the item, get the ambulance, and be out of there. The problem is, for Abstract, they won't be able to see where the ambulance is. They'll be able to see where the item is, but not necessarily the ambulance.
It's unfortunately a snowball from this point on. They're all just playing catch-up right now. It looks like it's going straight to item hold. What are the rules on item hold? Is there a gentleman's agreement on what to do, or is there? Yeah,
there is. I believe there were some last-minute changes made to the ruling. So running with the item, you can move the item as long as you're on foot, and you can put it in a car, but you can't drive the car around, I believe. is the final ruling. And yeah, as you said and as you predicted, God Complex have just taken the momentum and run with it. They're on to the final stage here. Yuriku's already making his way into the complex area to grab the item, but it looks like the other team is already set up. Looks like Sumori and Chio are already set up here with the car spawner to the northwest side. Yuriko's going to try and get a pick here on Kaposha.
Yuriku caught off guard. Yuriku caught off guard. Critical kill.
That's kind of an important
That's a high
one.
impact kill. That's just like, that's not even, that is a high impact kill. That might just win them the mission. That gives them a huge head start in
It
here.
really does, yeah. This is kind of important now. They're only pushing from one side and doubling up, but it looks like Abstract's all over it at the moment.
Yuriku's back in. All three are pushing up the west side now. Oh, they couldn't capitalize. Abstract cannot capitalize over killing Yuriku at the start.
They'll have to be careful. That was Sumori's got a good kill there. That's a good one. Sumori's got a good kill there on Yuriku, but it looks like he's been answered too. It was a trade.
Sumori's on his back, unfortunately.
Again.
Yeah, it's this could have been their big chance here. I think what they should do is.
Yeah,
sorry, go on.
I do apologise. I wouldn't count them out just yet. They've got a car spawner still to the northwest, which God Complex are not doing anything about. They're holding close to the objective. They're not pushing out to get them here. Yuriko got a decent spawn to the south and is going to try and sweep in here and pick off flanks, but Sumori's has answered him with the OCA there. He's just hiding.
I think it's time to switch some weapons. Are the long-range weapons out and CQC in? What's happening?
Yeah, I'd be expecting to see more OCAs here and possibly a PMG or two.
It's interesting to see the Carbine go toe-to-toe against his SMGs now with this new balance.
Yeah, the recent weapon changes have been good. The Carbine's in, I think, a really good position now. As it gets less, it blooms out less per shot, meaning the first few shots are going to be a bit more consistent if you fire it cyclic. It looks like we've got a switch over here. Kaposha's gone in to get a two-man, grab the item, and he's going to be holding short somewhere. We'll have to swap feeds to see where they are. Let's just see this from Sumori's perspective as we move over.
I think it's unfortunate as well because we would normally see some JGs in the mix, but that's banned, isn't it?
Yeah,
they had some nice aggressive gameplay. But
well, the
JGs
JGs
shotguns are still too strong.
Yeah, the JG's still in a bit of a weird spot at the moment. Like, there's been a lot of.
Yuriku's waiting.
Oh, I'm just watching from Sumori's perspective here, just to see what positions they've got up. They're looking at the west. They're looking at the south, looking at the car spawner. They're not checking west though.
Looks like Yuriku's just touching and feeling around, trying to find a way in. He just doesn't want to make himself known, though. I think he's waiting for his teammates to cause some ruckus, but looks like that's off the plan now. He's pushing from southwest.
Here
All
come the
three
nades.
pushing from southwest, throwing grenades.
It's a good aggressive push. They've got a foothold here. It's whether or not Abstract's going to capitalize and try to push this back, but they're losing positions here.
Oh, they're taking shots, but nothing can connect. No one's dying yet. How long? Why hasn't anyone died yet? Oh, there we go. Yuriku gets the first kill.
Yuriku gets the pick here. They've got the item. They've got the positions. They've basically just brute forced Abstract off the point here completely and out of position.
I personally think everyone's too afraid right now. Everyone seems to be like, there's a lot of money on the line here for this first APB tournament.
I think that once they get the first round jitters out of the way, they should be okay. And they need to realise that this is only the first round. They can play it out. There's not going to be that much of a momentum loss.
Come on, Yuriku. Yuriku's getting second thoughts here. He thinks they can come right behind him. That spawn car is really spooking him out. Look at Yuriku. He doesn't know what to do.
Sumori's pushing in.
Forward. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh,
he's
no.
going for the car spawner now.
This is very interesting. Sumori went for a very interesting flank there. Didn't go straight for the item. Tried to pick off any of kind of a floater from God Complex's side. Wasn't able to capitalize.
Let's get some eyes on Darlena now that he's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at him. He's having a crisis of faith right here. He doesn't know where to look. He doesn't know what to do. He's really afraid right now. Doesn't know where they are, but he's too afraid to take out that car spawner.
He needs to rely a little bit more on his teammates to watch angles here. He's trying to cover too many positions at once.
He's going for the car spawner. He wants this kill. He wants this.
Oh, he just spotted one to the southwest. Yeah.
Southwest.
They're stacking up too much, I think. They need to spread out a little bit, get angles here, not let them get the really important points here. Because as soon as they get into that main complex area and start getting angles, they can start brute forcing them off. It's a good pick there by Husiness. Chio. Yeah. Good shot. Good pick there by Husiness. SQPY picking up the second, and that is the third.
This is the. I think this is the last attack for Team Abstract.
Possibly. They have enough time on the clock and enough time in terms of point capture to turn this about. It might go to overtime, but they really need to come up with a strategy here. They need to either saturate them with nades, they need to push in, or they need to sneak in and get angles before anything can happen. But
Sumori
God
has
Complex,
been spotted by Darlena.
God Complex are doing the right thing here.
Possible streamer versus streamer moment inbound.
The God Complex are doing the right thing here. They're spreading out, they're getting angles.
Oh, he couldn't get the kill, he panicked!
Oh dear. And it's a pincer, but no, that's...
It's a reset.
Oh!
That's 2 out, 2v2 situation going in.
That was a good pincer attempt by Abstract. They capitalized, they tried to get Darlena on his own, but Chio just could not kill him.
Both streamers taken out of the tournament. Now we just have to wonder, with the two players, can they do this?
Chio getting a pick there. Husiness returning and getting him out of it, so... Only Husiness is left, I think. He's the only one left in.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute left. There's only about 14 seconds, 15 seconds left on the clock here if they want to capture this item in time. There's 10 seconds, 8 seconds left, 6.
There's only a couple points
4,
left, isn't there?
2 seconds. They need to grab it now, but it doesn't look like it. And God Complex take round 1 on the attack nonetheless of the first match here. So we're looking very interesting here.
It's very interesting, but at the same time, not unexpected. I really think Abstract now, it's important for them not to get tilted. It's in a situation like this where I can expect Darlena to whip out a JG and snub and just, you know, lay out the smackdown, but it's clear he can't do that. He needs to just carry on and keep on the aggression. Abstract need to get out of this rut that they're in. They can't let themselves get bullied in this situation.
I think the main thing that Abstract can take away from this match is knowing how they play. Watching, observing, keeping an eye on how they attack and making adjustments where necessary to capitalize on that when they're attacking. We haven't seen a defense yet from God Complex, so it'll be interesting to see how they do, but Abstract should be taking notes from that item hold to see what God Complex do. They don't kind of stack on the item, they do push out to watch angles, to watch the spawns, to be prepared and move and adjust and flow accordingly based on where the attack is coming from. And
Sorry, go on.
And Abstract need to be more mobile here. Like, they're setting up angles, they're getting different flanking maneuvers on, they're trying to get pincers to single out single targets, but if they're not moving enough, they're going to get caught out, and they might have to change strategy here to just brute force through one area. Saturate with nades, brute force, get them into an angle where you know they're going to be by putting nades down where they will not go. And
just need to win more 1v1s, I think. It seems towards the end they're doing synergized attacks. They're going in as waves at the same direction. But when it comes to the 1v1 situations, you saw in that moment when Sumori was trying to kill Yuriku, he couldn't get the frag. It was a free kill. I mean, all things considered, it's a live stream, it's a tournament. The nerves are getting to him. He needs to suppress those right now. Probably needs a cigarette or a vape. If you can suggest anything to him, Kemp, do it now.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, yeah, the main thing is, more than anything, I think Abstract really need to start capitalizing on getting 2v1 scenarios. God Complex are doing exactly what they want here. They're kind of dictating the fights and they're making sure that they get the 1v1s because they know they can win them. But if Abstract start making moves and getting 2v1s and they get those jitters out of the way, the first round jitters, and manage to capitalize on kind of a 2-to-1 strategy here, they might be able to make something work. We'll have to wait and see how they perform on an attack here, but well, this next match is going to be an eye-opener for them, hopefully.
Yes, it's an important thing in general warfare here. If you can recover from the initial attack, it's important that you send like a proper counter-attack. If Abstract can't come out with this and make this a 1-1, then I'm afraid that it's just going to go in God Complex from the rest of this tournament. If they cannot win this match, that's it. That's my thinking on here. They have to come back from this. They cannot lose a second match.
Well, they need to.
The tilt is going to get too much.
Yeah, they need to show that they can win in a disadvantaged state. So on an attack. I mean, admittedly, God Complex did pick quite an easy mission. After the first 2 stages, it was going to be a snowball effect if they could get mobilized quickly. So we knew that was going to happen. But while this team will be able to dictate what attack mission they get, they will need to make sure that they can win it. regardless what happens in the last stage, they need to make sure that they get there, just to prove a point that they can beat them at their own game and they can put up a fight. Because if they don't manage to even get to the last stage on this mission, it's going to be too much of a snowball. There's going to be too much momentum on God Complex side, and I think it's going to be a 4-0 sweep.
I indeed agree. So what is the current situation? Are both teams ready?
Both teams are ready. We're just waiting for Abstract to pick an attack mission. They're just waiting to get one now.
Oh, yeah, I might have to play Obeya, boys. Have a daily activity.
Fuck off, man.
Fuck off, bro.
Just got word from Abstract's team. I think Chio will need to play Obeya just so he can complete a daily activity.
Oh, let me go fucking Obeya, bro.
You wanna play Obeya?
No, I'm joking.
Of course, a Bayer is like one of the current meta weapons that wasn't touched during this battle pass. How do you think it's gonna show itself off with the new Obeya changes?
The CR762 was always a good pick and was always a decent competitor against the OBIR at range, but because the OBIR is a burst rifle and it can pop in and out of cover and do 495 damage, it was just a case that the OBIR could take angles and take the fights better than the CR762, but now that the OBIR hasn't got as much of an option in close quarters due to the bolt timer, the CR762 might have a little bit more leeway, but I don't know. It's going to be tricky. We're going to have to wait until a few weeks are done and more playtests are done to see kind of where things settle. But here we go. We've got Spray Gun for hire. Abstract side. Samori taking the lead there initially to grab the item as early as possible, get the attacking momentum going. Yuriku getting an early car kill on Kaposha. It may have been a run over, may have been an explosion. We don't know. But
not a bad mission for Abstract on an attack stage. It's just pickups all the way through. Quite lucky if you ask me. This could be the one that can give them... well, they just need to make sure that they, go steadfast in this and not drop the ball, so to speak.
Well, they need to just not panic, just be ready, and go through this systematically.
Yeah, one is up on the balcony.
Yeah, this is really bad, man. Oh yeah, I'm taking a part.
I think the fight is going to be coming to the art center. Not sure who has got the advantage yet, but it looks like God Complex are managing to defend the area.
They got
signs yet on where Abstract is.
Samori just got a cheeky little peek there through the wall, as the wall wasn't loaded in yet, and it looks like he's spotted a Yuriku up there on the balcony.
Still in his car.
It's going to be interesting how they approach this. Kaposha's got a pick on SQPY. It looks like Kaposha and Samori are going to be pushing through the middle here from the northwest side. They're getting nades up on Yuriku up on the balcony, but it looks like God Complex are answering back by pre-nading the hallway that the item's in. Samori's going to go for it here.
Potential
He's waiting.
streamer moment.
Oh, here we go. It's a good nade by Yuriku. But he got 4 hits on. Yuriku's in trouble here. If one of Abstract teammates can get round and finish him off, they could get the item here. But no, it's been a 3-0. It's been a complete team wipe on Abstract side. Huzinus picking up Chio at the end.
Because it's really hard for Abstract in this situation. They have to kill all of God Complex. They can't leave one man standing, because if it ends up being 1v1 with the item and you die there, they're gonna have to pick that item back up. But it's not gonna be that stage. It's tough. They can't leave this area.
It's a tricky one.
Even if it's the next stage, it's just gonna be they're gonna be attacking an objective that isn't even marked on the map. They're gonna be. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. For Abstract, at least they've got a bit of a safety net here. Even if it looks like they won't be able to wipe out God Complex before picking up the item and it gets low on time, they can just pick up the item and die with it. Get a timer reset going.
Get some shots in. Oh, Yuriku is now down. Couldn't get enough shots to hit there, and that's.
Huzinus has picked up the kill though, but Samori's come in from the inside, picked up the item. He's making his way out now. Huzinus is still up top, but it looks like they've got a spray point objective above on the balcony of the art store. But it looks like Huzinus.
God Complex there.
Oh yeah, indeed. Huzinus is on the corner there, picking up a kill on Samori as he makes his way up, but it's too little, too late. Chio has got the objective.
Wow.
They've got a little bit more extra time on their hands here, but now is the problem.
That is amazing play. He stuck the objective there, and he did the next objective. Now the trouble is getting that item out of the art center
think,
that's
yeah,
that's
I know
another
that.
problem in itself, because you spend time to get that item out. That could take, you know, a minute, 2 minutes, but then now you have to take it to the drop off. That's another defense.
It's tricky.
This is a tough one, yeah. And
That-
it is a really easy spot to defend too, but it's fairly big, so they could sneak in maybe get in with a car
Can you see
possibly.
anyone?
Looks like one of them's picked it up. Looks like Kaposha's managed to pick up the
Item is
item
clear.
from inside the arts center.
Like I said, it's a big area,
Okay.
and he's out with the car.
That's good. He's going to go pick up the second
God
item
Complex
here.
dropped the ball here.
Okay, Ines is on top.
It was a good run. It was a good strategy there by
Ines is
Abstract.
on top still.
You guys are still here. You guys have got to go.
I don't think they realised the items have gone yet
I
because
don't
they
think
couldn't see
they've
them.
realised either.
Yeah, you're all cool.
This is
Now, if Abstract can capitalise on this and run a distraction to make them think that the item's still there,
Everyone
this
there.
could be quite good.
oh, that is
Yeah,
hilarious.
It's worked
they have
out.
No clue. They
And-
have no
Skype and
clue.
Yuriko on me.
That
And
is...
they have the advantage,
I know,
and they're
obviously.
on the objectives.
On
This
the
is an
full-on
amazing
down.
start for Abstract. This could be a great comeback.
This
Warzone
is...
won by how well they come back from an initial attack.
This is exactly what they needed, and they've already got to the objective. They've already got to the checkpoint holds. They're setting up. Chio just fiddling around with God Complex there, just to slow him down a little bit in the arts center. Chio's finally down, but that
What
is
the
a
fuck?
lot
Why
of
didn't
time
I-
lost
Just go
initially
for
on
life
this last
first.
stage.
Why didn't my comp do anything?
Samori going for the swap here to the OCA because we're going to a close quarters area. It might not be a good idea though, because you can still see into this area from the arts center balcony. That might be something that
might
God
be
Complex will
going
want to do here. Looks like they've pushed in on H and
Yeah,
they're
one on
recapping H here. Samori's going in with a couple of nades just to
Yuriko
saturate them off the
capping
point.
I, wanting to get some points on the board.
And-
Welcome to the scoreboard.
Ines is downstairs.
They're on the end.
And just like that, oh wow, that
Up
was...
already.
Samori just got absolutely shut
I'm
down
going
there
for
by
I.
both Hoosiness and SQPY. And just
and
like
let's not
that,
forget the 5 damage from Darlena.
and just like that, the tables have turned instantly as God Complex have sweeped in, grabbed two objective locations, and now it's up to Kaposha and Chio to try and make something happen here. Even if it is just to neutralise them, they can't afford to lose the point lead that they have already. If they do, it's going to be a loss. Kaposha getting a pick there on Hoosiness, SQPY getting picked off by Chio.
Can you go for the other point?
Yuriku's the only one in. Now they'll
Rory
just...
inbound to the 4x4 Vegas coming in at the statue.
Chio taking eye here. Looks like Samori's going to pick up H.
Yuriku's
Yeah,
on his own at
Yuriko
the
up
moment
top.
though. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. He needs to maybe wait for his teammates. They're back on board.
Nades coming in from the south
I
here.
think he's behind this pillar, man.
There's copy too.
SQPY's now made his way up. He's making his way
Keep it
towards
quiet.
G. He may try to go for an early neutralize here and then secure the
85.
area, but it looks like Yuriku's making a move on the east side here, trying to take out Samori. Sorry, that's Hoosiness.
Yuriko is almost down.
They've got 2 on G at the moment. They're going to try and neutralize here. It's a 2v2 scenario on G. Chio gets a pick here.
Almost behind me, I think.
There's only one
pushing,
left on the point.
Dead.
And Kaposha picks up Hoosiness. SQPY's
on point,
last
he's on
in, but
point.
he's on point on G.
This is
Oh,
an excellent
up.
comeback
He's
from
jumping down
Abstract.
wherever
They've got
you
the
were.
3 cap domination going.
He's
This is a critical moment.
this is what they needed.
Four.
They needed to get the momentum on their side and show that they can hold it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold
And
the
that's
whole-
exactly
whole
what they're
side.
doing here. That was very well done by Abstract to hold that off.
I think one spawn.
There's
All
no
right, reset.
bodies on the
I
ground.
think both teams are now
Two.
calming down, and I think Darlena is
can't
now
see
thinking
anyone
about the
behind.
next attack.
They're gonna swap there.
Yes,
So this
looks like
is-
another swatch is on board
Okay,
for
they're
Hoosiness.
gonna knock on her.
So this is the important part now. How are
Good
Abstract going to set themselves up for the attack
Yeah.
here? How are
Are
they
they gonna-
going to move?
Is it going to be 3 1v1s, or are they going to attack together as one unit? We shall see.
This is a bit weird. They are spread out quite thin here, watching angles, but it looks like they're
Oh,
going
you
to
got
try
him,
and
you got
go
him,
for
you
the
got him.
1v1.
Oh.
SQPY taking out Chio,
Yeah,
Chio
he's on
taking
the
out
highway now.
Yuriku, SQPY picking up a
And then he's on
second.
the
Yeah, he's
underground.
Fantastic kill by Chio.
Absolutely.
Fair
Samori hasn't got any eyes on, but he's just found Hoosiness. Can he capitalise here? That's the question. Yes, he does. It's a 1v1 scenario. Again, it's something Abstract
Oh,
don't
he's
want
getting
here.
taken.
He's capping eye. They're not going for the fight here. They're just trying to get points on the scoreboard. It's very close to a win here for Abstract. I didn't see the points, but they are very close to winning this. They only need to hold 1 point item at. No, they only need to hold 1 checkpoint at this point, and they can still win from points.
behind the
Doesn't
pillar.
even matter if it goes to overtime.
Which pillar though?
God Complex will need
Abstract
to...
to just
Oh, yeah,
calm
one
down
on it.
and hold these 2 points and not overextend themselves.
They just need to settle. They just need to relax.
there too,
They
Ines
need
there
to
too.
realise
So
that they
fix your
don't need
car.
to hold 2 points here. They just need to
Yeah.
hold 1. Even if they lose
Two are under and one is
H,
back.
they've got this. And it's only a couple of seconds away now.
Careful.
And that's it. Abstract take round 2. This is very surprising.
Now it's
Both
an
wins
aim.
on an attack stage.
I don't
Now who knows? Who knows what it's up to? This could be a
Obviously,
tilting match for Darlene
161
and
right
Co.
now.
Darlene is usually pretty cool-headed even when things go a bit awkwardly, so we'll have to see how he reacts to this. But this is very close. This is closer than we thought it would be.
180. Wait, what?
Dude, if you go below 160, you're a fucking...
You're not.
But what surprises me the most here is that what surprises me the most is that both teams have won on an attacking stage, and it's known in APB that defending is considerably easier when you know what you're doing. So I think it might just be again jitters and lack of organisation that's kind of throwing off the defence here, and they've just got more strategies in place for when they need to attack.
It's a different
I don't know, I just
situation when you
took,
got hundreds of
the
people
fight up
watching
there,
you,
right?
right?
That's true.
I just could,
I
like,
think
edge-step them.
These
but
two
I
teams
didn't
know
want
that,
to
you
do,
know,
like, very
this is
quick.
different than
Okay.
just your standard
Got
pub
out on
stomping.
back.
I mean, they probably played against each other lots of times, but when it comes to this specific setting, it's hard to really muster the mental fortitude to even try to play the same. It's very different now. It could be in anyone's. It could be anyone that wins now. Even I'm not sure.
It's going to really go down to this next match now. They've both seen how each team attacks and defends. We'll have to see if any changes are made moving into the next mission here. It is God Complex's honour here to choose the attack stage, so this is going to be an important pick here to make. They'll have to choose a mission that they know they're going to be okay on, but it will depend on how they want to approach this. And they really need to start getting their game together on the attack stage. They did everything right on the last stage, sorry. They did everything right in the first match, forcing the 1v1s, getting those necessary kills and picking off Abstract one by one and relying on each individual's merit. But Abstract are now starting to pull it together. They're starting to team up, they're starting to get angles, they're starting to get God Complex
They're starting to warm up.
spaced out. Yeah.
I was impressed by the, you know, the confidence that Samori was showing towards the end there and defending.
Well, now the jitters are out of the way. This is where the match really starts. It's now time to see which team has really got it in them to
Who
take
knows
it all
if the
the way.
jitters are out the way? Maybe the jitters are now in God Complex hands. Maybe they're the ones that's going to be falling on the back foot.
We'll have to
This
wait
will
and see.
be. We'll have to see after this.
Yeah. And now, if we were really at a big tournament, we'd have a word from our sponsors right about now. But this has been a lot closer than I had expected, which is for the better. It's been a very interesting match so far. But, we'll have to wait and see if there's anything in God Complex's playbook that they can come through with in a last stage scenario.
I'm wondering. They've got 2 car spawners on Team Abstract. What is the formation on Team God Complex? It's the same.
they've
Do they
got-
have ammo?
Yep, they've got Yuriku's taking ammo, and SQPY and Hoosiness are taking car spawners. So it's almost a mirror match here for the vehicles in terms of the mods. Although the vehicle choice from Abstract have gone for a kind of tankier setup here with both an Espacio and a Pioneer with only one 4x4 Vegas, whereas it looks like God Complex are trying to focus on speed and getting from A to B as quickly as possible with 2 4x4 Vegases. Which has worked out for them in the past, but they really need to start paying attention. They can't afford to be in a situation where they get distracted and miss where the objectives are.
And they gotta stop blowing up. I mean, Yuriku's died 3 times, 2 or 3 times now to precise like conch grenades.
Well, I just had a brief
the
look
4x4
there.
is just not as strong as it was.
Absolutely. I just had a brief look at what mods Yuriku has on his 4x4. He's still opting to take high burn fuel. Now, for those who don't know, that puts the Vegas at, I think, 970 odd HP, because the Vegas only has 1150 right now. So it's on par with a lot of the other performance vehicles in the game. So It'll be interesting to see. No, he's taken out high burn fuel and is running steel plating 3. Interested that he's not going for armoured engine though. That would give him theoretically a little bit more health to work with, at least in terms of engine power, so he could keep driving. But it looks like
Deliver is back on again.
Looks like-
hat trick.
Are they going to go for it? No, they're not.
Oh,
They're not going for Deliver this time round. So it'll be interesting to see which mission they decide to pick here.
is there a rule against playing the same mission? Because if it was me, I would have stuck with that.
I don't know. They were having a bit of.
They won their first mission on Deliver.
They did, but again, there was a few tricky moments at the start there where they almost lost stage 1 and stage 2. Admittedly bad locations, but they could get those again with how Deliver spins up from this location.
Maybe the outcome of the second match has given them cold feet. Maybe they think they can't really play the same anymore. Maybe something's going on. I don't know. Maybe they're second guessing themselves. I'm not sure what's going on in God Complex, but hope they can find themselves for this third match.
Absolutely. It'll be very interesting if Abstracts start to make a movement here, but well, we'll have to wait and see as we go on to Game 3. We're just waiting for God Complex to get a mission, and then we'll be getting started.
Поехали играть, изи миссия, го-го.
Oh, they've
Looks like they're off.
oh dear. Not a good start there. Not a good start there, and the defenders are already capitalising. Now, can they make the 2 4x4 Vegas' work here to their advantage and at least get 2 players up to the attacking stage is in time? It's only a destroy. They only need to blow up 2 cameras.
Делай пока.
Abstract showing off their car gameplay skills very well, but Sumori does a very, very peculiar role. Oh, they're hitting each other as well. What the hell is going on?
They are looking to exchange phone numbers here. Looks like Yuriku's trying to distract them long enough, and that is a good car kill by SQPY on Chio. They've taken out one of the big cars. Looks like
Chio
Sumori's
not wanting to get out of his car at all there.
Yeah.
Paid the price.
2-on-1 scenario. That's not what they want to see. We're on to stage 2 here. They've got 2 spray points to go for in this mall area in the middle of Financial, just outside the city centre. Or, sorry.
Quite an iconic location.
It is indeed.
Lots of fun missions occur in this place.
A lot of different angles and routes they can take to defend and attack these objectives. So it's going to be difficult on defenders here to keep an eye on the main routes.
Taking a frag to the face and
dear.
going down. Chio coming back from death. Redeeming himself after that embarrassing pioneer death.
Absolutely, that was a good answer there by Chio, and it looks like they've got a 3-man wipe. Huzinus picking off one of them. The car spawner's in a good location here, though, off to the northwest, out of line of sight. They've got a few options here to make pushes here. Now, if I was
from God Complex.
If I was God Complex, I'd be trying to take some solo fights here and get the wins, but Chio is just walking all over Yuriku at the moment. Chio catching him just as he comes out for the car spawner there.
Chio very much asserting his dominance over those plant pots there. Fantastic play.
Fuck the foliage, I think is what his tagline is. But
It's like Huzinus sent Chio back to the grave, but still, regardless, excellent play. But it looks like he will return on the southeast side.
Можно цель делать, можно цель делать.
so now what we're going to see is how God Complex want to approach this. Do they want to take 1v1s or do they want to push in together? I'm just wondering if their resolve has been crumbled a bit from the last match and if they're not as confident in taking these 1v1 fights. Yuriku getting a few good hits there on Chio, who's returning in, but he's been picked off before he could get back to a defensive position here. Looks like Yuriku and SQPY are going to push in at the same time here in between the objectives. Sumori getting a very good nade and getting a 2-kill there.
Fantastic 2-piece bucket from Sumori.
У него антек.
2 for 1 at Specsavers. Very well done.
Oh my god, man, I'm getting fucking spammed with this friend request.
That's the problem. God Complex can seem to take control of the mall and have the upper ground, but once they get down into the jungle gym with all the kids, Sumori comes out on top.
Yeah, and I think What they really need to do here is once they start getting kills, they need to get that momentum going. They need to push through. If they start
They gotta
holding
stop
angles,
Не видел.
yeah,
They just have.
Я вот здесь.
that's not.
Начинай пушить.
You know, that is not a boneless
Oh.
banquet there.
Darlene, streamer by streamer against Sumori.
Oh dear, Kaposha getting the 2-on-1.
Sumori very happy over Kaposha's save.
Can someone whisper Darlenko to say that there's an option in settings to turn off friend invite requests? He can turn those off and have it to immediately ignore any friend requests coming in. There is an option in the game to do that. He might need to do that before this mission's over.
Looks like we have some technical problems going down on Team God Complex.
Предложение.
Kaposha's just walking all over it right now.
Блядь, алло.
Darlena coming again from the top, held back by Kaposha at the pillar. Nades
That's-
going in.
That's not a
But
bad nade.
Darlena can't get the hits. Oh, fantastic nade. Double nade from Huzinus and Yuriku.
85 внизу. 85, 85 справа у тебя, Айнс, справа в кишке, где прошлая точка была. 85.
Screams in Russian, but they've got one of the objectives. They've narrowed it down. They've narrowed the playfield down to one area. Oh, there's a bit of miscommunication there as Yuriku shoots through his teammate there to take out Chio. Looks like they're clear though. Looks like they're getting the last objective, and it's the next stage. 3 out of 4. They
Temper's
just
running high for Team Abstract.
Смотри, преснулся на ноге. Смотри, на
and
ноге.
this is going to be interesting now because all they need to do is take out 2 cameras. They can get the momentum swinging back in their favor, and then it's on to the last stage, a 3 graffiti point hold with 5 minutes on the clock. It'll really depend where this stage spawns, but it should be near the 2 objective locations, so we're going to go back into another close quarters area with loads of little run-throughs and alleyways. It's going to be interesting to see how they approach this.
Чекай, Цумори, Капоти на гитку. Не, я живу. Найс, Капоти, Цумори на поинте это. Двое. Один в кишке, другой в
Like
этом.
Yuriku slowly clearing out the city hall from the south. Pushing in with SQPY. One hit onto the objective at E.
Kaposha
Seems
getting a
Yuriku
pick
seems to
there.
be
Жди меня вот здесь. Рез.
looks to be that they're trying to get some attention, but just so that Huzinus can sneak in, but there's just no hits and no connection and no damage being made from God Complex.
They're having a little bit of difficulty getting some aggression going here and pushing in. They're just getting caught out in the open here. Yuriku getting some very good hits there on Kaposha. Kaposha's been forced back into an alleyway.
Very aggressive play and very assertive.
It's very good there. There's the confidence we've seen from Darlenko before. He's making it
Put
happen.
Kaposha on 50 HP. Kaposha getting
Good.
a bit aggressive
Oh,
here.
dear.
And
Двое.
looks like they're
Kaposha really holding his ground there in a 2v1 scenario. SQPY picked off by Chio, and here comes the entirety of Abstract to just put Yuriku in the bin.
Тех двоих не пушил, а двоим пушил. А, я двоим 85 дал, почему ты тех не пушил, я тебя спрашиваю.
They're going to have to regroup here and think about how they're going to push this. They just need to shoot a camera. There's nothing, they
Yeah.
don't need to hold around. They can get nades on it. They can do a couple of things here if they struggle, but they
Abstract
really
should
need
really
to...
prepare. Should really prepare for the get themselves ready for changing the objective, because all they have to do is drop a nade onto that camera.
Exactly, they need to be
and
ready for
that's
last
it, it's the
stage.
next objective.
Now,
But the last stage is spray hold, and it's usually within this area. It is not in God Complex's favor to destroy the objective with the enemy still being around.
good
They want to
2v1
wipe
there.
them all out first, then do the objective.
They spaced Chio and took him out systematically there. There's only 2 people left for Abstract, but they do have a car spawner out northwest. They could get people coming back and backstabbing them here.
Sumori is down 2v1
Oh, and
situation.
Yuriku's done a good job there picking off the last man, Kaposha, and that is it. We're on to the last stage here, and like you said, it is in this area. It is to the north. It's actually in favour of Abstract, as they have the car spawner just to the west of these locations, so they might be in quickly here. We've got one person coming in from Abstract on the east side here towards I. They're going round to the northeast to see if they can get a push on H by the looks of it, but we don't know.
West
Have
as well,
Abstract
near-
used their car spawns already, and are they on a cooldown?
Наверху, ждите, ждите меня, сейчас
One of the civilians
They're inbound
there,
on objective H. Looks
Yep.
like Chio is dead, to be honest.
dead to rights there, and there he goes. One of the civilians there doing a civil service and headering on a concussion grenade that Yuriko threw. So on the volley.
Напуш его.
But Kaposha snuck in just behind Huzinus there, but Yuriko picks it up and supports his teammate. They have the sweep here. They just need to get all 3 points and start getting points on the scoreboard here so they have a lead that they can work with.
God Complex extending what lead they have. Samori repositioning east, moving into south. Doesn't seem to be any change in team formation from God Complex. SQPY seems to be meeting Samori though. We will...
It's interesting that they're not deciding to change tactics here, although the Carbine and the OCA picks are very good options here. There's not a lot of mid-range that they can manipulate, but there might be a couple of options they have. But
tough objective for Samori to push. Held by 2 people. Objective H is under attack.
God Complex just getting a little bit worried there and pushing back probably a little bit too much. They're going over, they're favouring survivability over objective points. I mean, they've got the lead here, so it's a good play, but I'm just a bit worried that if they continue this, they're not going to take fights, and they're going to be just brute forced off without having to do anything. Similar to what Abstract did in the first round, where they got brute forced off by God Complex.
Potential streamer versus streamer moment. Darlena coming up behind Samori, while Samori is attacking Husinus. This looks like...
Oh, there we
Yes.
go. Eureka gets Samori. SQPY getting the 2-man there. It's a very good play by God Complex. This is what we wanted to see. They are being aggressive. And again, it's another instance of winning on an attack mission rather than defense.
I'm kind of thinking that at this point, Abstract need to reorganize themselves and attack as a unit at the same time. It feels like they're getting a bit worried and they're getting a bit nervous. They're getting picked off one by one.
We can just see from how God Complex plays, they're much better when they're out on their own, taking fights on their own, but as soon as it gets into a team fight, they panic a little bit, they're out of position, they shoot each other accidentally. I think Abstract
getting
needs
a good nade on Husinus.
Yeah, but here comes Yuriku to support him. Oh, no, Samori gets the kill on Husinus. Now it's going to be a streamer versus streamer moment here, with Samori and Yuriku on the balcony here. Samori coming up the staircase, getting a few shots on. Yuriku's doing very well here. Yuriku's run out of ammo on his carbine, and Samori takes the kill, but he's been picked off by another member from God Complex. That was a good fight there. But is it enough for Abstract to push through and actually get some of the points on the scoreboard here? It isn't. SQPY is holding it down from G on the balcony. Husinus is making his way in from the west side here to get a pincer maneuver on the 2 players from Abstract that are stuck in that courtyard area. The last player from Abstract on the east side here trying to make a pincer maneuver on SQPY as a counter, but not really anything happening. Husinus gets a great nade kill on Chio there. And it looks like it's been reset again, and Abstract are running out of options here, and running out of time and pushes.
I think it's important to realize that from God Complex, SQPY is playing extremely well and is a reliable teammate in this situation. No matter what sort of fumbling that is happening between Yuriku and Samori, SQPY is always there in the back, just ready to mop up.
Exactly. Looks like Abstract to try to get a foothold here on H. They need that, but they need to push more. Kaposha's still in the area. Yuriku's getting a good angle on him, a good flank, and SQPY takes the kill there, but that was a good 2v1 scenario for God Complex.
And SQPY once again mopping it up with his OCA.
OCA, yep. Husinus picking up Tamori as well, so it's another team wipe. And again, they've lost that objective, they've lost the car spawner, and they're really running out of options here to turn this around. If Abstract want to win this, they need to get all 3 points and lock it down. Looks like they're going for 2 car spawners here from the southeast, all pushing it the same way. This is what we wanted to see from Abstract. They needed to push in together, but here come the nades. One of the cars are already down. They're pushing in through the hallway. Chio has picked up Yuriku. That's pretty good. It looks like maybe Abstract picked up another kill there. SQPY coming in with a great nade, but Chio's there to answer it. Has he picked up the kill on SQPY though? He hasn't. SQPY's backed off to H a little bit. Chio pushing in with Kaposha, and that's exactly what they needed to do. They've got a car spawner in a good location for the last teammate to respawn. They're picking up the last 2 objectives, and there we go. Just in the nick of time as well, because God Complex were just about to win on points.
I'm not sure they can hold this on. There needs to be an extreme amount of defense right now.
Yeah.
They have to be as careful as they can. They cannot let themselves get buoyed off the objective now.
The question is it too little, too late? As we move over to Samori here to find out what they're doing. Bear with me one moment here.
Samori holding the internal I point.
Holding from I. We know that Yuriku's out to the east here. Now, are God Complex going to push in as a full unit here, or are they going to try for the 1v1s again? We'll have to wait and see.
Samori's going for a flank. On Yuriku
That's
is down.
very, very good play there, but SQPY has counter-flanked Samori as he comes back in. SQPY opting not to push all the way out, wait for Samori to come back in and pick up the kill. But SQPY is going to go for that 1 point. That's the only point that they need, but Kaposha and Chio are both there to kind of push him in a 2v1 scenario. They could capitalize here, and they have. Now, are they going to respray I to make sure that they don't, that God Complex don't get a quick pick here? Because again, all God Complex need to do is pick up one objective and hold it for a couple of seconds, and they win. This really is an uphill struggle here for Abstract, and they're really going to have to hold on to these 3 objectives for a long time here before they can get within peaking range of winning this.
It is a tough thing to ask to hold a close range objective with a Joker carbine when you're playing against OCAs. I'm not sure on this.
I'm surprised we haven't seen CSGs coming out. They're not as effective as JG, but here comes God Complex again from the west-hand side. Sorry to cut you off there. They're pushing in as a team. It looks like they were trying to take G there with a bit of support there from someone on the balcony. Didn't catch the name. There's a distraction tactic going on. One is on I. They've split up.
The doors are closed.
That was a good kill by
Lemonade's gonna go
Yuriku.
off.
One more, open door.
Looks like they're trying to push in on I here. Yuriku is down. SQPY is going for objective I. Is anybody left from Abstract to answer here? Chio is left. He picks up the kill.
Like, rotate so fucking fast.
Very good play there by Chio to pick up the last man from God Complex just to make sure they don't get that objective. And now things are starting to look in Abstract's favour. They've got the momentum. They're starting to make God Complex question their moves. And it's getting closer. They're now within our 100-point range, getting 3 points every 2 seconds. It is getting close. Can they get the reverse sweep here? They're starting to doubt what they're doing. They're wondering, can they make this happen? They're trying to saturate and go for I again. I looks to be the winning point here. It's all going to come down to this.
Yuriku trying to get the nade and...
Oh no, Yuriku's made a flanking move on the from the east here.
High impact kill on that guy.
Going for a bit of car gameplay here from Samori.
Inside the car.
Samori needs to get this pick here though. Whoziness has picked up Kaposha. Yuriku is the last one left. They're taking I. I think this is it. I think this is it. Unless Samori can get a 3-man here. This is all over and that's it. Unless Abstract can get on that last point quick enough, this is it.
They're winning.
Kaposha's too far out of the way to get this. Chio's being held back by the last 2 members of God Complex who are holding I. And there we go. Round 3 goes to God Complex.
That was actually a close win.
To be fair, Abstract really was starting to bring that back, and it was very impressive. But
yeah, they were playing very well towards the end there. It's just a shame they only took them half the match to get to that point, and
well,
that is very disheartening. With that play in effect in the next match going forward.
I think what's important to take away from this is that Abstract really started to pull themselves together, but that's the nature of APB. Momentum shifting is a really big thing in this game, and you know, once the momentum shifts in favour of your team, you can start rolling because their doubts come in. The self-doubt comes in on whether or not the strategy's working, or whether or not, you know, what they're doing is going to work, or where the enemy players are, and those second guesses can cause hesitation and thus cause, you know, bad decisions to be made. And we kind of saw a little bit of that happen and come through at God Complex in that last stage there, but they did manage to kind of bring themselves back together, push in as a team, and start pushing on the point that matters the most, the choke point. That objective I was going to be the choke point for that last stage, and that's where it mattered. They already had the biggest lead that they needed to kind of solidify the victory, and it was a big uphill struggle for Abstract to make this work. But props to them, they fought to the very end and they got very close to turning that around, but in the end...
It's very clear that it's just Abstract were playing very assertive towards the very end, and God Complex, comparatively, they were playing very hesitantly. They were going to push this guy, but at the same time, oh no, maybe I'm not going to kill him. They're pulling back. They're giving Abstract too much chances. They need to keep up the aggression if God Complex want to win this last match here.
They need to get rid of that doubt of losing the fight. They need to go in confidently, know that they're going to win the fight. They need to push it to make sure that, you know, they need to be less worried about how they're approaching this. And now they're going to watch me and what they're saying.
This is where we keep quiet.
Hello, Camp. What's up, bro?
Well, bit of niceties there from Darlinko, but yeah. But yeah, it's definitely been very close. This has been a much closer competition than I thought it would be. But is this the point that abstracts start to falter, or
No,
is this where?
I think if they can reorganize themselves right now and figure out what they were doing right towards the end, they can win this next match. All God Complex need to do is to not give them that chance. Stop second guessing yourself. Get in there, get the frag. Don't back out. I saw that too many times from going on their team. That's how Abstract came back and managed to hold so many objectives. But at the end of the day, it's a stamina match. They can't. I don't think it was unrealistic to expect them to hold it for too long with too much randomness going on.
They didn't capitalize, but again, there's a weak point that Abstract might be able to capitalize on here. God Complex seem to favor survivability over positioning, and that might be something that they can kind of abuse and manipulate here to gain victories, as we've seen multiple times. God Complex backing away from good favorable positions when they're losing the fight and not sticking in to try and force them back and get that brute force and pressure on. And that's what I think is going to be critical here for Abstract to capitalize on. If they can force God Complex to be on the back foot more often and force them into survivability rather than taking and holding points, Abstract could really make some ground here, but they will need to start doing that quickly as we go into round 4. Well, now at the halfway point of the 6-round matches here, we're an hour in, and Abstract need to come up with something. They've been very good so far, but if they really want to take this through and win it, they're really going to have to come up with something now. So a few little changes here being made to the streamers just to make sure they have friends and clan invites on auto decline so they don't get distracted by that. There was a bit of an issue there from Yuriku, as people were kind of spamming friend invites there. But I think that's all being resolved now as we wait for Samori and Abstract to pick the next map. Or the next, not the next map, sorry, the next mission.
Huh?
I have no chance against Skype Orca vs Orca fight. I don't know.
Is he using Checker 3 on it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That might be the point.
Like every time we fight, even in long range, bro, like I should be able to like not get that many ghost shots as he does, you know? I don't know, man.
The music is kind of too loud.
No, just go CJ3, bro. That's the only way. Dude, CJ2, that's on witchcraft, bro. That's like only speculation.
You guys ready? Should we care?
It's our attack.
So here we go, round 4, just waiting on Team Abstract to pick an attack mission to get ready to go.
It's quite peculiar though, from what I've been seeing. It's for most CQC fights, we are only seeing Joker Carbines and OCAs. We're seeing nothing in between. Do you think we're going to see potential risky picks like the PMG or potentially an NTech? Even in CQC, I haven't seen many NTechs.
We haven't had the objective locations for it. It's mostly been when it's long range, one person picks off the Obeah rifle. And the rest goes CQC to push the point, basically. Neither team have been in a position where they're comfortable setting up sightlines and angles at range on the fear of being rushed by one of the CQC players. So both teams are trying to counter each other by doing the same thing, and we're seeing the fight fire with fire strategy here. Now, it depends on the objective locations they get. If they get more open areas, we will see more ranged weapons, most likely. The carbine still being a favoured weapon here with CR762, and we might see the OCA get swapped to an NTech, possibly. But again, it'll depend on how they want to approach this. If they try to push the fights, or they try to hold angles and range and push methodically, it's down to the team to decide how they want to accomplish this.
Looks like teams are starting to ready up.
Looks like, yeah, Abstract are ready. They're just waiting for an attack mission now to make sure they get the right one. And then we'll be starting with round 4 here. Just for a reminder for the people at home watching this, the mission format is as such: 3 attacks, 3 defends from both teams. The first team to reach 4 wins will win. However, if both teams get 3 wins, we go on to a tiebreaker of 2 more matches, and the team will have to win by 2 clear victories in order to go through to the next round. Now, as you've seen so far, both teams have won their attacking missions so far. God Complex just picking up the third match there, 2 wins on attack. Abstract winning their attack mission. We're going on to Abstract on the attack here. Now, if God Complex can win this defense mission, that could be the game changer here, as they'll have a 2-point lead, and Abstract will have all the work to make up in the last 2 matches.
We need to be faster on the weapon swaps, like instantly CQC spot they went all open, man.
I don't know, man. I lost like 5 fights against Skype.
Looks like some discussion going on Team Abstract. They need to, some feedback I've heard, and it's definitely true, that's that they take too long with their weapon switches. They're too stubborn. They need to realize what sole objective they're getting into and know that God Complex will instantly switch. So
They need to be quicker and more flexible with their weapon selections here. Getting stunted with what weapon they go with is really costing them fights here. And I think that's why Abstract were able to capitalize at the end there. They finally did start switching weapons, and as a result did make that important push that turned it around. But
exactly, as soon as they start switching weapons, it all came over. That's it. It's just, I think the team captain needs to be more assertive and needs to get his team members to like, all right, switch weapons, guys. Just don't stop running in there and dying.
Just taking a quick 5-minute break here. There's a bit of a bio break for God Complex. Riku needs to take a slash. And Abstract are going to use this time, hopefully, to discuss what they're going to do next. But by the sounds of it, they've already had that discussion. Riku going for an interesting choice here. Is he going to stick with this in the match? He's going with a Scout. Now, the Scout did recently get buffed by 50 damage, but at the cost of its equip time being a lot slower and significantly nerfed. But the extra 50 damage has made all the difference to the Scout. All Scouts now, even without Cooling Jacket 3, can two-shot someone with Clotting Agent 3, even if you miss that all-important second shot. So the Scout is a lot easier to use now, and will we see that come into fruition in this next match? Are they going to start looking towards using different weapons here?
Small correction, I think that was Samori and not Yuriku. Samori is thinking
Samori, sorry.
Thinking about using a Scout.
This might work.
I mean, it might work. It did get a buff, like you said, but is 50 damage really that crucial?
I wasn't a big help there.
The biggest,
in these sort of matches.
The biggest thing is that the Scout is much better as a follow-up weapon now, and is much better at picking fights, and people will have to start respecting the Scout a little bit more rather than being caught in the open and just ducking and weaving hoping for 2 shots to miss. Because even with Clotting Agent 3, as I mentioned, you can miss the second shot with the Scout and the third shot will get that 2-shot kill, even without Cooling Jacket 3 in the gun. So the retail Scout is no longer the top pick. I think people will start making their way towards the PR1 Scout due to 3-point Sling 3, basically negating the nerf that the Scout got and still getting that all-important extra 50 damage from the gun. Looks like we've got 2 more minutes to go before we move on to round 4 here. Abstract really need to have an answer here to what God Complex have been giving.
God Complex just need to stay frosty, just continue the same, but in these moments of hesitation, they need to become more assertive. But if they just stay the course and Abstract don't change, it's in God Complex's favor. They will win. Abstract need to change.
I would say mechanically, God Complex have the edge here. They can win their 1v1s more frequently. But Abstract may have a little bit more team cohesion here, and they may be able to capitalize on this. And like I said, for the last two or three rounds, they need to make that team cohesion work in their favor. If they can exploit the fact that God Complex are a little bit more reserved and tend to space themselves out, they can make pushes on individual players, take them out, get the fight in their favor, and hopefully start making the necessary ground back up to start winning this match.
What happened to like 10
But
minutes?
from the referees, when are we looking to start?
Well, the referee said 2 more minutes, but I think we're pretty much there now. We need to get going because the next match is in an hour from now, and we've still got 3 missions to play. So we need to get these matches going.
Yeah, it's peeing, bro.
No, I'm
Oh
back.
no. Oh, it's back.
Abstract is now ready Looks like a match is imminent.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're just waiting for Abstract
Getting kinda hot
to get an
here,
attack
boys.
mission.
Ooh, it's getting spicy, bro.
Oh, everyone's inside their cars.
Put your big boy hats on.
They're revving it up till it goes bam 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 bam.
What?
Yeah.
And we're just waiting to see if they get
Bro,
the
I
attack
installed
mission
a
they want
USB
here.
fan under my armpits, bro.
Be interesting to see what kind of attack mission they go for here. If they go for one that might be a little bit trickier at the start, but they have an easier last stage, or whether or not they decide to go for an easier attack mission with a little bit of a trickier last stage.
Like my hands are vibrating, you know, it's like... Nah. After the game, yeah. No, it gets fucked up. You just stream and shit. Like speed or coke would be nice for this tournament.
APB Gods deciding to take a very long time to assign a mission to Abstract.
It's one of the problems with the low population districts. Mission spin up is a little bit longer.
I don't care, bro.
And here we go.
VIP.
They've got a VIP mission this time. Are they going to do it? No, they're going to move in. That's an immediate decline.
They're not very confident in their VIP missions, I see.
Well, to be fair, VIP is very one-sided and, well, one-sided in either direction, really. One team starts getting that momentum, it's a wipeout, especially on the VIP side.
The hardest hip hop.
Not something that you want on a match like this.
It's not what you want to see.
You want a solid win.
Yeah. I mean, if they could win on VIP, that would definitely assert dominance, but...
Huge mental victory against the enemy team if they can win on a VIP.
Exactly. But are they willing to take that risk? Because it would be one hell of an uphill struggle. Apologies if you can hear the vape over the mic, Shini.
It takes so long to get missions.
Yeah, this is shit. This is sick, dude.
Patiently waiting for the APB Gods to deploy another mission that isn't a VIP. Oh, area hold.
Bankroll collection. It looks like they're going to take this one. Yep, they're taking this one. We're on to round 4.
Get in your cars, God Complex. Get in your cars.
On your bike. And here we go. Again, the attacking position in the attacker's favour here for Abstract, but God Complex with those 2 4x4 Vegases have been able to get there quickly. However, it was an instant pickup. So, now we'll have to see whether or not Abstract are going to capitalise on this and use the momentum to their advantage. Grab the items early before God Complex can start making moves. And will we see a repeat of Abstract's distraction tactic to hide the items in a location if God Complex set up the defence? And hopefully God Complex have learnt from their mistake last time and will keep an eye out for the items as much as possible here to ensure that they don't get caught out again.
Crazy skirmishes going down between God Complex and Abstract where the objective was.
Yeah, there's a bit of a tussle over the item over the objective vehicle, but Kaposha gets the
coming
pick
out
on
on top.
Yuriku. Looks like Samori's going to make a quick move here to Objective E to try and get this as early as possible. It's not in the greatest of spots, but it looks like God Complex have already got here. It looks like Hoosiness is up by the vents, waiting to hold them off. Samori opting to take care of the car spawner early. It's a slight difference from what we've seen before, and here we go. This is what we wanted to see. Samori's got a position here at long range using the scout, using the important tagger there, getting a good pick on SQPY before he could set up on that rooftop just by Devil Dog. And we've got Yuriku moving in his 4x4 Vegas, Chio throwing a concussion grenade into where the objective is to see if he can pick off Hoosiness, but no luck. Samori going for a flanking maneuver here. Maybe trying to get up on top of the building, we don't know, but Yuriku's picking him up here. Can Sumori capitalize? He's panicking a little bit here. He gets back into his Vegas. Yuriku getting a nade ready. But he's going to get 2v1'd here if he's not careful. 3v1'd. Huzinus picks up the kill from the ventilation overlooking Objective E as Kaposha makes his way inside from the east, possibly trying to sneak the item out if possible. They have got Objective A, the vehicle, out of the way, but God Complex have blown it up, but it has spawned nearby.
Interesting mission, by the way. 2 minutes per stage being added on. This is one from one of the rebalance missions from that previous patch a month or so ago.
It is indeed. Now, if Abstract...
Yuriku pulling off a nice flip with his 4x4 Vegas, but of course cucking himself in the process, but then returning back to his car with an extremely great car gameplay.
What they need to realise is that style points do not matter in this match. You're not going to get extra points for doing a flip. Yuriku picking up a kill on Chiyu there. Sumori getting a nice 5-shot on Huizinus. He picks up the item and he is out of there. Another 2 minutes added to the clock.
Chio once again staying in his car in these situations. Chio, you have to not sit in this car. You have to be assertive and take out Darlena. Yes, Conks.
Sumori really making good use of that scout there, getting a good angle on SQPY at 90 meters. Can he get the last few hits here? No, he spaghettis, and Huzinus picks up the kill there as he tries to, Sumori tries to kill Yuriku, as Yuriku was fighting Kaposha there. Now, they've dropped the Objective E item far away from the other players, so they may not know that the item's there. Again, can Abstract do what they did before? Now, here's the question. Are they going to go for the next item, get the extra time, the extra important time on the clock for the last delivery? Or are they going to try and pick up the items now, try and get the vehicle now, and
Looks
be
like
ready?
God Complex is setting up for the item.
Interesting. So God Complex have found where the item is. Now, what will Abstract do here? Are they going to go for that next item and get the extra 2 minutes on the clock? They are using...
I think they will have to, but it looks like they're consolidating their forces right now. They're bringing all the items all together and the car, and preparing for the next attack on their stage here.
They have to be careful. They are using up that extra 2 minutes gifted to them by that last stage. And if they're not quick enough, they're going to be going negative in time here, and they're going to lose those important seconds they might need on the last delivery on stage 6 here.
The question is, will Abstract, switch weapons for this objective? This is a CQC spot.
Again.
And as you know, yes, it looks like Sumori is changing weapons.
He's not taking any chances this time. He's going for an OCA.
Oh, a cookie cutter OCA, let's go.
That's absolutely fine. Probably necessary for this, although he could have taken the scout here if God Complex have decided to set up on that inside roof just nearby, the one that kind of overlooks this entire plaza area. They need to be careful here, because that will be a very strong defensive point for God Complex to manipulate. And if
it looks like God Complex know where the attack is coming from.
Wow, that was a very good nade by Yuriku there, picking off Sumori and taking his car out in the process. No car spawner. No Sumori. They've lost their flank here, but Kaposha has put his car spawner down to the east of the objective. Now, the question is, will Sumori try to push in from the southeast, or will he flank all the way around? Looks like he's going to try and push in from the south here, through the double door hallway. Chio getting a pick there on Yuriku, but SQPY answering and getting Chio taken out. Now, will Sumori opt to go in quietly, or will he try to... Nope, he's going in loud, loses the fight to Huizinus, is holding the right-hand side there.
Once again, SQPY being the stalwart, reliable teammate, defending the objective with his formidable OCA.
Absolutely. We're just going to move this over to the defender's perspective here. And it has once again failed to mute the stream. There we go.
This looks like in the situation, Yuriku is out. A 2v3 situation, 2 players defending.
Huizinus is the last one in. Oh, but, yep, it looks like Abstract have picked up the item. They've got the 2 extra minutes on the clock, but they did lose a lot of time on that attack. So those extra 2 minutes haven't counted as much. And here's that all-important drop-off. They've got 4 minutes 40 on the clock to get all the items together, the bank truck over. And can God Complex finally get a defense mission win here? Because I think if they do, they're going to run away with this. But again, Abstract capitalizing on forcing 2v1 scenarios here. Kaposha coming in with a flanking maneuver on Yuriko through the double door hallway, picking off Yuriko as he overextends to try and pick off...
Abstract are on their way out now.
Yeah.
Time for God Complex to just mobilize and get the hell to the drop-off.
Now, do they try to stall the bank truck now, or do they just hold, put a defensive line up on the objective location, which is in that open, broken kind of warehouse construction area just across from Suji, I think it is, where that
Temper's
overlook...
flying high at Abstract.
Kind of surprising, really. They're doing well here.
Amazing defending from Hoosiness.
Out on his own, but that's what God Complex kind of rely on. They rely on those one-to-ones. Chio picking up the kill on Hoosiness, but here comes Yuriku.
Preparing for the one.
That's a very good conk, but they do have a blowtorch. The blowtorch did get nerfed. It's not going to be as effective as repairing the item, and they only have a limited amount of ammo to repair the vehicle, so it won't necessarily fully heal here.
Looks like Abstract are getting to the next stage.
It looks like they have managed to push through the kind of segmented blockade here. SQPY, the last man on point. Can he stop the bank truck in time?
It isn't an instant
it's
drop.
not an instant drop. This might be it, but no. And we have an attack swap here. It looks like God Complex are now on the attack. They need to they need to break into 2 objectives, and then we go to a point hold as the last stage. Now, will this attack swap be problematic for God Complex? Because now Abstract have to defend, and as we've seen, defenders typically lose their stages in this match.
However, look at this defense spot. It is a formidable spot. They got nice double ladder area, and they got that bridge up there. I kind of think that Abstract couldn't have asked for more.
Yeah, they've got a very favourable position here, and as long as they can manipulate and capitalise on those elevated positions as much as possible. A little bit of a feed issue here from Samori. We're going to swap back over to Yuriku.
Eines here. He's on the stairs, watch out.
Looks like we're back with Abstract.
Yep. I'll move back over to them as they are on the defense here. Yuriku and Samori fighting out here. Very good conk on Samori. Yuriku's going to push round. Hoosiness is taken out by Chio. Samori has pushed down.
Excellent hits from Darlena.
They've actually swapped positions here. They're now fighting for this glass bridge. Chio's over there. It looks like they might be trying to force a 2v1 pincer here. Yuriku's in trouble. It's a 3v1, and that is a fantastic move by Abstract.
What an attack. What an attack.
Very good counter push there by Abstract. They're going to be happy with that one, or they bloody well should be, because that was very well executed. Moving back over to Samori, it looks like they have got their team ready to go once again here. Looks like Yuriku's going to push in with his team from the northwest side here, moving around to the north, opting for the 2 alleyways to the north of the objectives here. They might try to get this car spawn in a little bit more favourable position, but they have put it close to where Abstract is. Chio getting the opening pick there on Hoosiness, SQPY picking off Chio here.
Yuriku changing the frags for the different situation.
That is a good shout. They're going to need that area of effect damage here to kind of flush them out of these heightened positions. Kaposha answering back. Sorry, Kaposha answering back, taking out SQPY. Yuriku going for a flank here, but he's going to get caught out by Chio, who's just respawned. But no, Yuriku answers and actually takes out the respawn. But here comes Samori. He's going to get those angles, and it looks like it's a bit of a trade here. They're exchanging phone numbers. Yuriku's got the angle, but it looks like Kaposha's going to try and get an angle on Yuriku here. Hoosiness picks up the kill on Kaposha. Good support there from God Complex. Yuriku's pushing in. That is a fantastic nade push on the balcony, and it looks like God Complex are at least going to take objective I. Probably the most critical one, because that's where the car spawner is, so they can block the car spawner from Abstract and then sweep through. Abstract getting some good spawns here. They're a little bit out of the way, but they might be able to make it back and at least hold some form of line here on the shop door, objective J, in that slightly more open position. But remember, that objective's up in that glass hallway. Bit
streamer
tricky.
versus streamer moment. Team inbound from Suji.
Oh, and wow, God Complex really mobilised there. Good kill from Samori on Yuriku, but it's not enough. They have taken the objective. Now, will Abstract hold a distraction here and let Samori go grab the objective? Or will God Complex sneak out and manage to get around here? It will depend on the respawns here.
Can you go to the point? I'm
Samori and Chio picking up Huizness, SQPY picking off Kaposha, so there's only one from each team left in the last objective location.
It
Chio,
is looking like Abstract will be capping this objective and be getting first advantage.
don't count your chickens just yet, because it looks like Yuriku's just driven in with a car from the southwest. Is he going to go up onto the balcony, or is he going to try and push? Looks like we've got team communication there. He is above the objective. Kaposha's got an angle there. He's going to switch to long range for this.
Capping.
I can't do anything about
Good use of nades there, but it's not enough. Yuriku
Darlena
is
is
still up there,
constant thorn in Abstract's side. They need to send someone up to get and deal with him.
but they don't want to push a 1v1 here. We've seen what happens. Huizness is up there as well on the balcony, overlooking the objective. Question is, how do they approach this? Chio has switched to a CR762, has taken
critical
out
switch
Yuriku.
right there.
Yeah.
That's taken Abstract off guard right there.
SQPY
Abstract needs to counter now.
SQPY picking up Chio there as Huizness takes up the position. Kaposha's above the objective now. Samori's kind of out of position, going for ammunition here. SQPY across the way from the south on the balcony, overlooking, taking shots at Samori.
I am kind of fearing what Samori's doing right here. He doesn't seem to be contributing. He needs to possibly change his weapon or get stuck in. I don't think he can do much with no CA from that location.
I think he's just trying to find a way in, or at least get a pick here. Looks like he's going to go for Yuriku here.
Streamer
Oh,
versus streamer
very well
moment.
done. Very well done. But they are on the point. It looks like Huizness is on the point. He has managed to find his way down carefully without Chio going round. Chio has flanked for SQPY, but is it going to be enough? Will SQPY notice the flank? Huizness is getting into a 2v1 scenario. This is exactly what we wanted to see from Abstract because, again,
Samori cannot find the shot.
Samori fucking pouring spaghetti out of his pockets there. But get a nice little one tap on SQPY, saving Chio there. Chio with a good position here. Huizness has backed off and favoured for survival here. He might go for a
Kosha
flank.
buying some space for Samori. Samori looking around for their spawns.
Yuriku's under, left under.
Chio picking up Huizness finally, but Yuriku has respawned, got the Act 44 onto Chio there. Yuriku's pushing in, but he is in trouble here. Another 2v1 scenario, but he has managed to find Abstract's captain and taken out the second player. This is what God Complex are good at. They are good at their 1v1s. If they can force 1v1s and get those all-important kills in, Abstract won't have an answer. Abstract need to capitalise on getting angles, forcing 2v1 conflicts, and making sure that they are getting those all-important picks off. And this is what God Complex have been doing. They extend, they expand, they look for the spawns, they try to pick them off early, they know where the car spawner is, they know they're going to be spawning from there. And it's all important now. Abstract need to kind of regroup here, find another way in, but they need to be quick about it. They can't afford to waste too much time here. Good 2v1 there, picking off the last member of Abstract.
Looks like we're in a full reset. Abstract need to get themselves together. This is getting too close.
There's one in my first team.
Got Abstract's lead is getting slowly but surely diminished here.
I can see Skype, he's up.
They are starting to make some sort of play here. They have got the Espatio car spawner back in play. Samori opting not to go straight in to grab his car as well with ammo.
Looks like he will freely take the objective.
Yuriku's on the stairs, by the way.
Possibly. Chio's looking to just get an angle here and get a position. That's good. Looks like
Yuriku's
Kaposha.
blocked off the west side of the objective.
Well, Kaposha's got the pick. It's now a 3v2. Chio's picked off Yuriku. It's a 3v1 now. The car spawner is there. They've just taken it out. There's only one person left, and it is SQPY. Now, can he force 1v1 fights here and get the all-important stall necessary to get his teammates back in? But Samori's just going to go straight in and grab the point, get points back on their side. But God Complex really have closed the gap here. If they can get another successful push off, this would be major. And if God Complex can pull the win off here, it could be falling apart for Abstract. They have respawned their car spawner to the northeast. Abstract are now starting to expand a little bit, looking for the spawns, looking for where they're coming from early so they don't get caught on the objective and out of
Looks
position.
like they want to take out Chio first. Oh, an unfortunate team nade from Team Godstract.
Looks like God Complex are looking to get a flanking maneuver here from the southeast, maybe get the balcony first. SQPY picking off Kaposha. That is big. It means Chio's left undefended. Huizness is now pushing in. Yuriko getting the kill on Chio. I don't think they've spotted where Samori is, so this could be big. They are neutralizing the point. They've neutralized
It's all
it.
up to Samori. What much time can he buy before his team get back?
There's too many there. They've already got the point. Now,
I fear he might need a fullback.
yeah,
Which looks like what he's planning to do. Oh, his teammate just spawned nearby. Fantastic.
Both of them
cast
have.
placement.
fantastic car gameplay. Oh, that was not a smart move by Kaposha there.
Kaposha
There,
taking
man.
things a little bit too far, I am thinking.
Trying to give them the dick and getting dicked
A little bit
himself.
too assertive. It looks like he heard my feedback, but then he taken it to heart too far.
Well, it was a bit of a trade there, but that's not going to be what Abstract want.
you
They
both
don't want
rotate?
trades. They need to get the first kills. They can't afford to trade here. They need to make some moves. God Complex are closing that all-important gap here. God Complex have pushed out to catch the flank here and the reposition by Abstract, and they're getting good
Only
angles.
1 minute left as well.
This is going to go
This
down
is it,
to the
last
wire.
attack. This is it. It's very close. I'm surprised.
Here we
that
go.
these
So
matches-
Samori's got to pick. Samori's got to pick here. Yuriku picks off Chio. They've lost their long range here. Yuriku is up top, but Hoosiness is down by the point here. Yuriku
Samori
can't
is
get
still
in.
hesitating.
Yuriku's picked off Kaposha. Samori is now on his own. Now, are they
Samori
going to...
needs.
Is he
Samori
gonna
is
be
getting
able to
snuck
do
up
anything
behind
here?
from behind.
Does he know this, though? His teammates might be too far away to support him. Chio has opted for the long-range spawn here to get some angles. SQPY's gone back into a car. Samori's hesitant to push in. He's only got 20 seconds on the clock. He needs to make it happen sooner rather than later.
This is it.
SQPY going for the push on Chio.
Samori, you've got to step up for this moment here.
Wait, I can.
Why going
SQPY
for it,
pushing
dude?
on Chio to push him
Just shoot
away.
it from where
SQPY has spotted Yuriku. They now, Samori, they know where he is. He's pushing
Chio
for it.
needs-
Samori's just pushing for it, but he's lost it. It's a 2v1 situation. God Complex are locked down the
in the
objective.
bag for
That's
God
it.
Complex.
God Complex are starting to run away with this one. They finally won a defense mission, albeit on the last stage, but this could be it.
An absolute surgical defense from Team
they
God,
haven't won.
God
They
Complex.
won
The
4.
retake was
They
incredible.
haven't won yet. No, 4.
They haven't won
Yeah.
4. There's a bit of miscommunication there.
I'm coming back.
And one of them
Excellent.
disconnected thinking that they've already won.
Oh yeah, that's right. Our win is.
Oh dear. Nonetheless,
Well, it
that
looks
is
like we're going to be waiting 5 minutes for Kaposha to spin his game client back up.
yeah, a bit overconfident there from God Complex. A really good retake, a really good push by them, and then locking it down in those all-important last seconds. Those 2 kills that they got on Abstract on that last push was the most important part here, because Samori couldn't be supported. They could then push out to catch the spawns, and that was it. At that point, unless Chio magically obliterated SQPY instantly and they all bum rushed the objective at the same time, they weren't going to make anything happen there. So it all comes down to this. God Complex on the attack again, and from what we've seen in this match so far, God Complex have won all of their attack stages, and now they've taken a defense stage away from Abstract. So now it really is on Abstract to really make a difference here. They've
It's
got
their
to
last
change
chance.
something up.
It's match point now for God Complex. It's easy sailing for them. They just need to play the same. But I fear Abstract, they just need to
Why is my game?
get more assertive, and they need to not hesitate in those key situations.
Я же не знал, что ты играть. Просто смотри, в чем прикол.
Moving back over to God Complex's
Понял?
POV
Я
here.
открою вас.
They're just getting set up and ready to go.
С 3 позиций фигачит. Нет никак хелпы мне. Вы стоите вдвоем внизу на точке,
I'm
ничего не
definitely
делаете.
worried
Ничего
about
не делаете.
Abstract for
Да,
this
по мне
match here.
вдвоем
It
стреляете просто.
clearly, with that instant quit and GG from Kaposha, I'm wondering if the team is already done. It's
I
not
think that-
over, but I'm wondering if they are mentally done. He was really quick in quitting the game right there.
Well, that's the fatigue setting in, as I discussed in the picks of the matches. This is exactly what we expected to see. You know, fatigue setting in, doubt setting in. You know, not the same motivation to push on. And now that they've lost 2 missions in a row, and they know they have to win the next 3 missions back to back, it really is all on Abstract to make a change here. And I feel like maybe maybe Kaposha's heart isn't in it anymore.
Сколько уже играем? Так, сейчас. Выиграем.
They've put up a really good fight so far. They've made God Complex work for this win so far. Can they change it around and make the all-important changes necessary to secure some wins? We're going to have to wait and see as we wait for Kaposha to restart his client, get back into the game, get his head on straight, and just be ready to take on what could be the very last round of the first match here.
It looks like there's a change in the team format for Abstract. Chio is no longer playing range and will now be switching to CQC.
Interesting.
I mean, he wasn't performing bad at all for range, if you ask me.
Absolutely not. But
I think it just maybe the captain seems to be rearranging things, but I'm fearing that having SQP, what is it? Sorry, SQPY switching, I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't know. It depends what they want to do here. Yuriku trying to cover all ranges, Carbine for the close to mid range, and then Act 44 for the ranged encounters so he can at least support the ranged players on his team. But they've got a better team comp.
I accidentally said SQPY. It's Chio that will be switching to CQC, which I'm just not sure about.
It might be
I thought he was
okay.
performing quite well.
It might be okay. It might be the change that they need. They've got to try something different here. God Complex are used to certain players using certain weapons, and maybe they haven't seen Chio in close quarters enough to see how well he'll perform. It's only been Samori and Kaposha making those all-important pushes. But now with a bit of a switch-up, Samori, I think, going ranged here, Chio and Kaposha pushing the close quarters, it might be the switch-up they need to just throw God Complex slightly off balance. Abstract confirming they're ready to go. Yuriku getting ready for what could be the last mission, the last round for the first match for Run the Streets, the first APP tournament presented to you by the Community Events team. But I will say, for both teams here, it's got to be nerve-wracking. They are the first team up for this tournament. They know whichever way this goes, they've got to show that they can do, they've got to show that they're ready for any challenges ahead of them, because other teams will be watching this. Other teams may be taking notes as to how they play, what strategies they go for, how they push, how they flank, how they kind of move together or separately. And the other teams that God Complex or Abstract would be going up against might be taking this into account and adjusting their strategy to match. We've got Cleaning Up Controversy as the attacking stage for the attacking mission for God Complex as we enter the 5th round here. Match point for God Complex. Going for the early start here. The objective location is in a pretty neutral location here. Both teams could get here at the same time. We'll have to wait and see who gets there first. God Complex do have the 2 4x4 Vegases. They could get here. But it looks like
quite a CQC spot, or is it outside? No, it's outside.
It's outside. There's a bit of miscommunication there.
У меня капитан сзади меня и один впереди. Чьё впереди меня?
Here they come in.
Mori with the scout.
Samori's already set up and ready to go here, getting some pressure onto Hooziness, who's trying to take the car early here.
Just can't find the second shot.
Yuriku pushing in though, trying to throw Samori off, and that's it. Yuriku has taken out the ranged competitor here.
Here it's free reign for God Complex to take this objective now. 2 of Abstract are now out.
Absolutely, and
it's
it looks
just
like
up to Kaposha, who's going back in his car and driving away.
Yep, and it looks like Hooziness is going to make quick work of that as he picks up the first stage here. They're off to the next one, which is another raid. I've got to break into another location here. Then they've got 2 items to drop off, followed by an arson, followed by an item hold. They've got the item ready to go.
Samori's back on objective with the scout, pre-nading SQPY.
That was a good pick there. But here comes Yuriku. Here comes Yuriku and Hooziness coming in from the west-hand side here. They do have a car spawner to the north, similar to where Abstract's car spawner is. So that will be interesting.
No one on me yet. I'm trying to like.
Looks like both teams are kind of hesitating on full-on engagements. Hooziness is making his way inside. Darlena is now pushing in. Mori is feeling his space being taken away.
And that's what got. Oh, that was a good flank there by Abstract, getting the 2-on-1 on Yuriku. Exactly what they needed here. SQPY is near the point. Huizness is near the point. Looks like SQPY has picked up Samori, but Kaposha is still in. He could run a bit of distraction. Never mind. Huizness.
Spawning north. Looks like there's a big engagement going on outside at the north side. The
It's all
objective has been taken over, however.
That's it. And they've got the items free and ready to go. It looks like Abstract aren't going to take their chances. They're going to go straight to the drop and try to play this off for 3 minutes.
It's important to secure highway at this location now. But curiously, no one has gone up yet. Oh, looks like Samori is going up to take advantage of the highway.
Looks like he just dropped off the kids at the swimming pool and now he's off to go to the the highway to take that all-important position. He's got the scout. This is his territory. Now, will God Complex try to take highway possession first, or will they try to take hold of the car park?
I think that's a given once they discover Samori is up on the highway. Do you think they know yet?
I don't know.
Only got 3 minutes, however. This is a very tough
Now,
objective. For
this
3
is where
minutes.
Abstract really need to synergize. They need to push the team together. They need to get 2v1s. They need to force these
they are
fights.
definitely trying it. They almost took down Darlino, but he is still alive and fighting.
That survivability from God Complex really coming through here to kind of push off the 2v1 scenarios, reposition.
Samori having a direct visual of the objective, but I think he's getting restless. He hasn't taken shots yet. Oh, he has found someone on the second floor of the parking lot.
Huizness has picked off Kaposha here, so it is a 2v3 scenario for Abstract. Looks like SQPY and
Both items there?
He's up there. He's looking.
Chio has picked off Huizness. Both items have dropped. The items were on Huizness, but Yuriko has picked off Chio from the car spawner, most likely. SQPY holding down the third floor of the car park, keeping Samori at bay here. As Yuriko makes his way through the hall, through the alleyways down below, he looks like he's running straight to the objective here. He might get this if they're not going to pay attention. Can Kaposha get him? Oh, they just managed to get him at the last second. But the items are now on the point. This is bad. They've only got 2 minutes left, but the items are on the point. One person runs in and holds it. They could get this. It's not that long of a drop-off.
I'm just fearing that if Samori might not be able to do too much from that location, if both his teammates die, he can't stop it.
Absolutely. Moving over to God Complex's side here. SQPY still has the position in the car park. Huizness is making a flank from the west here. It looks like Abstract are trying to expand a little bit, maybe take some positions here. Looks like Chio is going for Yuriku here. Yep, he gets the pick on Yuriku. That's good. Chio is now going to push up for SQPY here. He might be able to take him out, and if they do, they can get a foothold in the car park. And that might be the necessary foothold they need to hold this. But it looks like Samori's in trouble, as they have got a car spawner on the... They've got two people up on the highway now. Huizness and SQPY have both respawned. They're now in the alleyway right next to the point. I don't know if the other two teammates know about this. Chio's really out of position. Kaposha's nowhere near. They've just picked them off, and we're on to stage 4.
It's a close bench point.
Huizness coming in there with a 2-man kill. The necessary kills they needed there to secure the drop-off. It is bloody close, this.
Samori now switching back to the OCA. The scout gamble has not paid off.
It's a shame, really. He did have the right position. He had the right idea, but his teammates could not defend him there. And especially for an objective like that, they've got to make a decision. Do they hold short? Do they have 2 people hold long and 1 hold short? It's a difficult one to do because they need their close quarter players to roam. It's a lot of area to cover and a lot of alleyways to check. It looks like God Complex have really picked up their gears here. They've really took it up another gear here. They're already on the next point, attacking it, taking it down and doing the arson objective. And just Abstract don't have an answer here. That's it. It's an item hold. We're on to the last stage. This is it. This is the last chance Abstract have to make anything happen out of this match. Huizness picks up Kaposha. It's a 2v3 scenario. Again, the item is in the air, is in the close quarters area. Now, will God Complex decide to switch weapons or move it to a more favourable position? A good nade there by Yuriku, finding Samori early, but Samori with a really good answer there.
Looks like his idea of switching back to the OCA was really good. It was too much of a silly gamble for the scout, if you ask me. I mean, it has its place, but I think in a tense situation, you need to go for your tried and tested SMG.
Absolutely. Samori getting an angle here. He's been naded badly by SQPY. SQPY picks up the kill. They're inside. They've got the angles. They've got the hallways locked down. Chio, Kaposha, and Samori all need to push in at the same time here. They need to get points on the scoreboard. They can't afford to let God Complex get a lead.
I am fearing for Abstract right now. It seems that they are starting to lose a bit of steam. They're starting to breathe down the mic. It just feels like they're reaching tilt point. They
Mouth breather mode engaged. Yeah, they're feeling the fatigue. Their mindset probably isn't right here. Samori has snuck in. Samori snuck in. He's got an angle here. Does Huisness know yet? He doesn't.
He has no idea.
That's a good nade. Can he pick off Huisness? He does. He's very close to the item now, but where are the other two members from God Complex? They're nowhere near. Samori has just run in and taken the item.
An oversight from God Complex.
Maybe they're getting a little bit overconfident.
Looks like the objective is being moved indoors.
That's a weird play. They've got two people outside holding a long angle in a mid-range point here, and Samori's the only one. I think they know what's going on.
I think Samori knows. He seems to be feeling it. He knows that he's doing well with the SMG. He's going to take the item inside and bring them all to him. He does not want to have any outside players performing long range on him. He wants his SMG and just that.
Absolutely. He wants to take it into an area he can fight and let the mid-range deal with any spawners coming in. But that being said, we've got two members from God Complex coming in from the south side. SQPY picking off Chio. They've taken off the man from the roof. The man on the vents, Kaposha, is waiting, but they are pushing him all together here. Kaposha's in trouble. They are nading him. That's a good pick there by Samori, picking off Huisness. Samori with the two-man on Yuriku. Where's the number 3? He needs to take out the third player here. He can't afford to let him get through. SQPY's through. This is going to be close.
Samori in a tense situation here.
He's gone straight for the item. They're moving it out. SQPY is close. That car spawner...
Is it inside?
Yeah. SQPY's been hit a little bit by the OC8. He needs to push this. He needs to get the item. That's a good retake of the item. But SQPY gets the kill. Yuriku's pushing in from the east side, but it looks like Abstract are now making a big aggressive push here. But God Complex have just run through the nades, and Huisness picks up a two-man. God Complex really running with it, running away with it now.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Abstract can still come in. All three of them are together now at the car spawner.
This is another thing to take note of. They're all together.
Are they changing weapons? What is happening? Oh, they're trying to spawn their cars. Of course, that bug still exists.
God Complex are extending out to try and catch the spawns to spot where they are.
Darlene barreling into the objective with his 4x4.
Samori getting a flank here, going back to where he died, finding SQPY. Has SQPY gone up top? He has indeed. SQPY has switched back to OCA and has taken out the flank of Samori. Now going back to God Complex here, let's see what they've got. They're stacking up on the objective here. They don't want to let anyone through. They're opting to extend to find the spawns and then close in on the objective to not let them get any angle. And that is a good nade by Yuriko, picking off Kaposha, but there's one more pushing in from that direction from northeast in the name of Chio. He's on his own here. He could be in trouble. The other two are hiding in the hallway above the objective. SQPY has picked off Chio. I think Samori's trying to make his way in from the same location. He's spawned on the car spawner. Probably not the best option here. He is on his own.
All of God. All of God. It seems to be on the objective. Abstract just trying to find a way in. They're not sure which way to go.
They've got to make a push from one direction here and try to brute force God Complex from holding all angles. They've really locked themselves down here. They're no longer extending. They're not kicking the doors open. They're just holding angles, holding the only ways in.
This is where hesitation is
and this is it.
Taking place.
Abstract are opting to go for multiple flanks at the same time, forcing a 1v1. Probably not the smartest choice here, but it looks like
1v1 situation.
Samori and Kaposha are picking up kills. It's a 1v1 situation here. It's Yuriko versus Kaposha. Yuriko doesn't need to move from this angle. Kaposha is moving in. This is it.
Yuriko can't get the
He
hit.
got it! Kaposha has taken it back. What a clutch moment there. Now this gives Abstract a chance to retake the lead here. They have lost a lot of their lead. God Complex have a lot of points on the scoreboard here. It was almost in the bag for God Complex. This is it now. Abstract have an uphill struggle here more than they know. They need to hold them off. God Complex are all pushing in from the east side here. It's going to be close. but can they get in position in time? SQPY opting to go from upstairs. Huizeness opting to go from the outside, from the northwest. Yuriku coming in close from the south. Will he run a big enough distraction to make this? We're going to move back over to Abstract. That's a good nade on Yuriku there from Samori. Samori holding outside. Oh, he's just been picked off by Huizeness. Huizeness has got the position now. He's in close. He's making his way into that hallway now.
Taking out Darlena. Both streamers are out of the mission.
Kaposha and Chio have taken out SQPY and Yuriku. It's now up to Huizeness to take out both players, but Chio has picked up the kill. However, they've got the car spawners in place for Abstract. Samori is right back into this.
Samori is moving in on that car spawner.
Looks like they're going to opt to take
it out.
Absolutely, you're right on there. It looks like God Complex have got one big push in them left, possibly. But they need to capitalize quickly. They have a bit of time on their hands. It will go to overtime here. But Abstract are closing that gap down. They need to be quick here. Looks like they're trying to find Samori and pick him off early here. SQPY and Yuriku getting a few shots on him from the southwest side. As he retreats back into the main area, it looks like Chio might be in trouble here, but he has got a pick on Yuriku, I think just happened there.
Chio is once again stepping up. Amazing play. I'm just continually impressed with him.
Oh, that's important. The door just closed on them. This is important. The doors have just reset. Abstract are inside, ready to go. God Complex have got to make a move now, otherwise it could all be over.
Can't capitalize on that, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate they've got the door open. That was a good nade by God Complex. If they can get someone in within the next 20 seconds, they can take this away. They're opting to try.
Darlena looks to be barreling into the objective, but he's stuck.
SQPY's got a pick. It might be over. If this is over, SQPY got a pick, but it looks like Huizeness just took out his teammate. But this might be it. That is it. God Complex 4-1 take the first match of Run the Streets. And what a way to finish there. It was all a bit of a struggling moment there, but oh wow, what a finish.
I think it's important to consider that despite this being 4-1, it's been, all of the matches have been close.
The biggest thing to take away from this, more than anything else, I think, is how well Abstract were giving God Complex a run for their money there. But well played to both teams, but all players from both teams coming through and really making a statement when they needed to. Chio probably, well, no, it's close. I think man of the match has got to go to either Chio or SQPY. Both players making insane plays for their team.
I agree, especially from Chio.
It was
and from SQPY. I mean, they've been great support players this entire match.
Yuriko
they've always been there waiting.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing. We saw some really interesting small changes to strategy, but Abstract just couldn't capitalize on trying to make the situations 2v1. Hi, Darlenko. And I think the main problem was that they just couldn't make that happen. God Complex were better at the 1v1s. They could make those fights happen, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be alone, away from position, more spaced out so they could get better angles and better flanking opportunities, and they were able to capitalize on that. But
this is just a shame, because I think Abstract have it in them. It's just...
yeah.
They just had no... they just kept hesitating in the critical moments. And then during specific moments when they were trying to shoot, many shots were whiffed. It's very strange. I'm disheartened by it, but at least the matches were very close. It says 4-1, but each match was very close. It's totally a shame.
Honestly, well played to both teams. What a way to start this tournament off. What a fantastic match to watch. And yeah, congratulations to God Complex. They move on to the next round. Their next competitors will be Patevis. The question is, have Patevis taken any notes from this match? And will they have an answer to God Complex's 1v1 strategy here? Unfortunately, Abstract leave with nothing, but my god, did they put up a fantastic fight. That was brilliant to watch, and yeah, well played.
I just think it was such a shame for that being their first match. They definitely had a lot to offer in this tournament.
Yeah.
It just seems to be rolled with that as your first match. That's just asking too much.
Absolutely.
They might have had, if this occurred later in the tournament, they might have secured more wins under their belt, and who knows, they might have a better mental state, but this was their first and only try, and it's definitely a shame. And it was very close every match.
It was the lack of confidence, I think, more than anything else.
It wasn't unexpected. I think we all saw the polls on God Complex, and you know, it was
pretty much a given, I think, for the most part, but Abstract did definitely put up a fight and make it a lot closer than people expected. What was most interesting to me is that the teams, they won their attack stages more than they won their defenses. And in hilarious reverse fashion to what we know, tried and true to APB, the one defense win was the one that actually managed to secure God Complex's victory there, which is incredibly surprising. But nonetheless, I want to see if Darlinko is available just for a couple of minutes to chat. The next match will be up in the next 10 minutes, and we'll discuss that very shortly, and we'll go through your thoughts as well. But I wonder if Darlinko's got a moment here just to come say hello and join the chat here just for a brief moment. I'm going to see if I can invite him to this. I don't know if I have him on my friends list. I don't know what his name is on Discord, actually. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to see if I can grab him. Are you in my Discord, Darlinko?
I'm in the CET Discord. It might be on channels there.
I don't know what his name is on Discord, that's the problem. He's on CET Discord in voice. I'm not joining that clusterfuck. What is his name on Discord? Team 1. Oh, I see it. I'll have a quick word with the winners here. If you want to move over to, the chat channel in the CET Discord, that's where the winners are.
That's a quite huge channel.
No, not the top one, the bottom one. The one with only Eureka, SQPY, and who's in us? Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. I'm ready to join.
Alright, I'm going to make our way over there. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the match 1 winners of Run the Streets. Congratulations to you three, God Complex, that's Eureka.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And everyone else, but... oh dear,
Okay.
hang on a minute. Okay, a few technical difficulties here. I'm going to have to try and add him to a private chat here, I think, because everyone else is going to join in, so bear with me one moment. I thought this was going to happen. Let me send him a quick video call, voice call. There we go. Right, and then I'll try and add. One moment. I'm going to try.
Hello?
Hello. Bear with me one second. I'm just trying to get Shini in here as well if I can. I just had Eureka and Michael. How do I invite him in? How the hell do I invite him in?
At the top, there's an invite friends.
Add friends to DM? No?
Oh.
Where the hell is it? Am I missing it? Am I just...
What if we just get one of the admins to move us into the lock channels on CET?
Can do, yeah. Let's get, I'll see if I can get... One sec, let me get Jim to... Okay, a few technical difficulties here, but we'll see if we can get something to work here. Right, I think we're just waiting on Eureka here.
Hello?
Hello, right, here we are. Congratulations to you, well done. That, I think, well, from our perspective, that was a lot closer than we thought it would be, but I just want to hear it from your perspective. What did you find kind of like the most challenging there? Was there anything that you're kind of worried about going into this? And what do you think worked well?
Well, our team play wasn't really on point, I have to say that. It worked really, really well when we played like yesterday against Abstract. And I don't know, like our team play was not on point, like it should be, like it is usually. That's why I think we had a lot of troubles in some points.
Maybe it's just nerves.
But yeah,
Thinking it's kind of nerves. You guys are not used to having everyone
exactly. Yeah,
at the same time. I mean, even though you say your team play wasn't on point, I'm still like, there was always reliable teammates on your team as well as keep you
True.
out.
I was also kind of surprised because of the OCA, because usually it's not that strong, and I'm not used to that.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
fighting OCAs is kind of right now
kind
pretty
of-
hard.
awkward to get a match just after a balance patch. It's
Yeah,
kind of too
exactly.
much to ask.
I mean, this was definitely the hardest fight that you had on. This was easily going to be one of the hardest matches of the tournament because new balance patch out. You're the first team in, and you know you've got possibly the jitters, maybe a few nerves on your side. I can't speak for you, but I mean, did you expect Abstract to put that much of a fight up? What were you expecting?
Actually not. I know they're like good players, but I didn't expect that much. That it would be that hard to play against them. But
yeah, it's like
they were
every
doing really.
match- Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very weird. Like, I think we all saw you guys coming out on top, but we wasn't expecting to see every match being so close.